Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, should I say. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and this is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Before I get started, thank you guys so much for watching my thoughts on Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk and their promo. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for your past views on everything. I really appreciate it. Let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen, with tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown from Norfolk, Virginia. If I didn't know any better, I would think that that was the same arena where The Rock faced Triple H on August 19, 2002. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about something else. But let's talk about the opening. Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's opening, Sonya Deville announced that Shayna Baszler, Natalia, Shayna, Natalia, Shotzi Blackheart, as well as Aaliyah, with Sasha Banks, will be in the SmackDown women's team for Survivor Series. Of course, if you notice, Sasha got a better ovation than all other four. Now, Aaliyah got a good ovation, and it will prove well deserved later. So, there's that. And so, Sasha comes out, things get heated between Shotzi and Sasha, and then Naomi comes out to pick a fight with Sonya Deville, who has been very crooked as of lately, as was Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw, throwing Dominic Mysterio to the Wolves. I mean, whose side are they on anyway? I mean, you have their commissioners for Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, whose side are y'all on? But either way, that chaos would open up the night with a six-woman tag match featuring Natalia, Shayna, and Shotzi versus Sasha, Aaliyah, and Naomi. Fun fact, two-thirds of Team BAD are back together, Sasha and Naomi, teaming up with Aaliyah in her first match in WWE. Now, Naomi was isolated for a little bit until Aaliyah was tagged in. Two fun facts. First of all, it was pretty interesting seeing Aaliyah break out of Shayna's sleeper hole that puts a lot of people to sleep. She broke out of that. The other interesting thing is, I don't think Sasha ever got tagged in, but she did make herself active outside of the ring. And because of help from Naomi, Aaliyah was able to roll up Natalia for the win, and the crowd was so happy. And I will say this, getting away from Robert Stone, who got thrown around last Wednesday like a football, getting away from the Robert Stone brand was the best thing to happen to her. I'm telling you. I mean, usually it's the other way around because you see a lot of guys are women, guys and women, leave NXT, go to Raw or SmackDown, and just totally go get messed up. They totally get messed up. Take Dijakovic, turned him. It wasn't broke, but they broke it with the retribution angle, and let's not forget Karrion Kross before he got released. Now, Keith Lee was good until they released him. Now, that theme song they had for him when he first came to Raw, but either way, Aaliyah has her first match. Awesome. And then the heartbreaking news by Sonya that Aaliyah has been let off the team. Curse you, Sonya! Curse you! And Naomi's reaction on SmackDown exclusive is absolutely perfect. When she was asked her thoughts on Aaliyah being put off the team, she was speechless and upset, which is what we all feel. But hey, Aaliyah was great. Mustafa Ali tried to come in and offer some words, but Ricochet came in and offered some encouraging words herself. It's like God and the devil in one ear, and the devil being Mustafa and Ricochet being God. Get thee behind me, Satan. Being, or should I say, get thee behind me, Mustafa Ali. Moving on, Rick Booze, who in the opening segment emulated, what's his name? I keep forgetting. He emulated Freddie Mercury. And his opening segment, Pat McAfee has some strange moves, but I love seeing Pat McAfee have a good time. It was a tag match between Shinsuke and Rick Boogs versus, I believe the team is known as Los Matherios. Matherios. I hope I pronounced that correctly. My apologies if I didn't. But Rick Boogs, as usual, treats Humberto like weights in the gym. It's really athletic that he can do that. But of course, they isolated him. Shinsuke tried to get in. He got attacked and tried to fight off everyone. But it was the distractions of what happened outside of the ring that will cause Angel Garza to get the victory. Let me ask you guys this question. Leave your thoughts in the comments below if you're interested in this question. Do you think Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo could be the new generation that would kind of remind us of Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo? Let me know what you think about that. Moving on, Charlotte Flair, comes to the ring and has a segment, and we just found out that it's going to be Becky versus Charlotte at Survivor Series. That match is main event caliber to me. It really is. As will be Roman Reigns versus Big E. I'm really excited about those two. Those two I'm really excited about. It's a couple of exciting things, but those two are the ones I am really looking forward to. So Charlotte comes out and starts an meme. It was hilarious and it was very entertaining. The crowd seemed with it. Tony Storm interrupts. Challenges Charlotte Flair. And of course, Charlotte declines. Boo. However, speaking of Charlotte versus Becky. Undertaker debuts the Ministry of Darkness on Monday Night Raw. Michael Cole. Because that's how Michael Cole sounded when Undertaker returned to sacrifice Dennis Knight. What the heck is going on? And Jerry Lawler with his iconic little sound. Speaking of moving on, Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. Now we saw Sami Zayn talking to himself. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We gotta stay strong for each other. We gotta stand together. We gotta win. And come to find out, Sami is talking to nobody but himself. Jeff Hardy was caught spying in. How long was Jeff Hardy there? He was there the entire time. Adam Pearce does one thing good that doesn't cause him to get a split in his pants and books a match between Sami Zayn, the strange guy, and Jeff Hardy. Strange on script. Strange as in character, not the person. Let me make that disclaimer. So it was a good match, and the crowd was really into it. And of course the crowd is into it. Jeff Hardy's a legend. So ironically, Pat McAfee is rooting somewhat for Jeff Hardy to win the match. He misses that leap off the steps onto the barricade, which gives Sami Zayn room to take control. However, Jeff Hardy fought back with a whisper in the wind for a 2 count, and Sami Zayn used a roll-up and tried to cheat, and our heart skipped a beat because I'm like, please don't lose, Jeff. Please don't lose. And thankfully, the match continued, and the ref caught Sami Zayn cheating with the ropes. Swanton, twist of fate, Swanton bomb, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, yes! Yes! Jeff Hardy is still on the team. Holla freaking Luya. Which means Sami Zayn is eliminated. And from a storyline standpoint, add that to your conspiracy theory. Side note, Hit Row versus Jinder and his partner. What The heck was that? I'm talking about gender in this guy. I mean, I don't know what his partner was saying, but he was saying it in their own native language. So he was probably making bars. But Jinder Mahal, not so much. In other small news, Sheamus will is set to come back next week, and Ridge Holland, a newbie to SmackDown, is a fan of Sheamus, and I think Sheamus and Ridge Holland could become great partners. Never know. I mean, Cesaro said that they were great partners. They weren't just the bar. They weren't setting the bar. They were the bar. But he said Sheamus has changed over the years. So we don't know what happens. But I think Ridge Holland and Sheamus might make good partners. We'll see what happens next week. But now down to some serious business. Our main event tonight was between King Woods and the WWE Universal Champion, one of the longest, if not futurely will be the longest reigning champion ever, longer than John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Just the longest reigning champion ever, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the one. So, this match saw both guys in a stipulation in which the loser would have to take a knee. And if Roman is not a man of his word in the stipulation, he will strip himself of the Universal Championship. So, what happens? The match starts off with both guys trading 10 punches to the corners, with Xavier Woods getting more success than Roman did. I think connecting 9 punches. Roman slams Xavier on the table before a commercial break. He comes back, takes control. Xavier tries to fight back but couldn't at the moment, and Roman used his own version of the rock bottom because, as we all know, SmackDown is sponsored by Red Notice, and of course it's the 25th anniversary of The Rock. Now, I'm probably asking for too much, but it would be nice if The Rock showed up for Survivor Series. 25 years of the great one. So, was that a good eyebrow? Let me know in the comment section, folks. Either way, Roman does it in his own way, but it doesn't keep Xavier down, as Xavier would fight back and go for his own coast-to-coast elbow, which I think is very awesome when he does. And those darn Usos interfere and ambush Xavier with steel stairs as they take the crown, the Usos, and both guys at the same time put it over the head of Roman Reigns. And that's how the night ends, with the Bloodline's reign of terror continuing. And I will say, I think it's kind of fair because it protects both of those guys. I mean, if you think about it, we can't have Roman losing. He's the top guy of SmackDown, the longest reigning champion. We can't, and the most bad donkey champion heel in history. And he's the type of heel that that some people, 50% of people still like. Kind of like when Undertaker, one of my all-time favorites, was champion in 2002. Except his reign was nowhere near as long as Roman. Speaking of Undertaker, Undertaker was there at the preparation for Dallas at WrestleMania. And he said on a media site that he thought it would have been better if Roman Reigns had ended the streak instead of Brock Lesnar. All due respect to Brock Lesnar because he considered Brock a friend. So, that's special news right there. And also, speaking of WrestleMania in Dallas, he's actually very happy, Undertaker I'm speaking of, that WWE is permanently making WrestleMania a 2-night event, because in his mind, which some of us can agree, we can have 2 nights of fun and we're not all drained out in one night. But who knows? But either way, it's good that both of them, nobody really won or lost, because it would protect Roman's reputation for his character. And it also protects King Woods from having to bend a knee as king of the ring. So even though the reign of terror continues and Roman is the last one standing, technically nobody has to bend a knee, which means both characters are protected. So what do you think of tonight's episode of SmackDown? Let me know in the comments what you thought of the show. And that's all the time I have for you today. I'll be back another time with another review. Until then, stay safe. Have a great weekend, folks, and happy Friday to you. See you later.